So I hope you're having a really great Ignite week. We're sort of at the midweek point. So today's the day we're going to dive into some specific use cases for cognitive services and our Microsoft AI technology. So my name is Martin Wall. I'm a principal program manager in the Cognitive Services Program Management Group based up in Seattle. And I'm here with my colleague Panos, who is part of our cognitive speech services team. And together we're going to be giving you some examples from a variety of different vertical industries about how you can use this technology in applications for a whole variety of different subject matters. Just by show of hands, I'm curious, how many of you are very familiar with Microsoft's cognitive services and AI technology? How many of you have just found out about it or learned about it in some of the keynotes, and that's what brought you here today? And how many of you are using the technology today, just by a show of hands? Great, so we have a nice mix of folks who aren't quite familiar, very familiar, and sort of in the middle. So I thought that what we would do in this session is go through a little overview of the cognitive services portfolio so that those of you who want to kind of catch up on the technology can do so and understand some of the key features. Panos is going to deep dive on our speech service area, because that's the area that he focuses in on. And we wanted to highlight that today because we just announced the general availability of what we're referring to as unified speech services. So Panos is going to go into great detail on what we announced just on Monday, and some customer examples who are already using it. They were using some of the technology previously, and he's going to share that with you via customer video and also actually 2 customer videos. Then I'm going to come back and continue the conversation about how cognitive services are being used in other parts of the industry today, including a look at some common AI scenarios. Now, my goal here is to sort of tease you all with the art of the possible. I think that by showing you some demos, by talking to you about some use cases, and maybe answering some questions if we have time at the end, I can give you an idea for how powerful this technology is and how it can be applied today. So really, setting the stage, our artificial intelligence platform is really all about amplification, taking the capability of human ingenuity and really applying intelligent technology to that so that computers can do and augment what humans have been doing in 3 key areas. We are trying to advance areas around reasoning and forming conclusions. We're trying to advance areas around understanding, which is to interpret data, particularly, I should say, when the data is very voluminous and when it's also disparate. And I'm going to go into quite a lot of examples about how it doesn't matter what form of data you want to analyze. It could be text, it could be image, it could be audio, and it could be all 3 together, which is in the form of video. So that's a key part of what our AI platform is all about. And then lastly, what are we doing today to take that technology and make it more available to interact with humans? And many of you have seen some of the bots that we have been working on that are text-based bots, but now Panos is going to be talking to you about some natural language speech bots that have been implemented and how to combine them the 2 of them together with this technology. So that's kind of the goal. I want to set the stage with Azure Cognitive Services. So Azure Cognitive Services is really our ready-to-use artificial intelligence platform that comes in a variety of different areas. And the goal is so that you can apply this technology to your business right away. Now, I don't know if any of you in this room are sort of neuroscientists or PhDs in computer science and neural networking, and maybe you've been working with machine learning technology for a very long time and building AI models. And if you have been, that's fantastic. And Microsoft has a lot of great, powerful technology to support you. But if you are not, and I will admit I am not, the goal for my customers has always been, how can I use this stuff fast? How can I take what you've got off the shelf and apply it and turn it into an application, say, within a week? That's my goal. So for example, take this picture here. This is an industrial safety application that exists to help someone, say in a factory state, find something that might be a safety hazard. And you'll notice the picture. There's a safety hose or a venting hose. It's lying on the floor. Don't know how it got there, but cameras are picking up on that and have been trained to identify that as a potential safety hazard. And then a rule has been created that says, if you see this image and it matches the safety hazard that we've programmed into our model, then what I want you to do is alert somebody who's on staff or find the nearest technician to repair this. This is a great example of how you combine artificial intelligence technology with Microsoft Flow to create this sort of application. This is actually very easy to create. and it uses these cognitive services technologies. So what are they? Cognitive services is sort of a bucket of technology, but we've tried to make this easy to digest by creating different categories. So we have two different categories. One is around the area of perception, and one is in the area of comprehension. And that breaks down like this. So there are areas of perception that involve vision technology, which is looking at images, and those images can either be static or moving, or listening to speech, which also could be recorded or live, and do something with them. And then the other two categories are around comprehending then the data that you've just pulled out from those two data types. So what does that break down to? A lot of great products. And all of these products are available for you to use today as part of our cognitive services portfolio. Each one of these products in bold represents a key capability that you can choose to use and build into your applications that exist either in the cloud, in your own facilities, or potentially on a device. And that's very important because part of the power of artificial intelligence is it needs to be where you are. It needs to be where the data is that you're collecting. Now, many of you may have seen some of our keynote speeches, and we had a couple of videos which show devices like drones with cameras, or possibly IoT devices that are sensors or scanners picking up things. They could be embedded with this cognitive service technology to run locally, produce some sort of initial analysis data, and then forward that data on. Conversely, you could build an entire application that exists virtually in the cloud, and you're connecting your cameras or your voice or your mobile apps to those. So again, these technologies are very varied, are different, but can be applied in different ways depending on the architecture that you're looking to build. I'm going to walk through each one of them just very briefly to give you a sense for what each one of these do. Face recognition, sort of obvious, right? The idea of taking a picture of something and identifying it by its face. If I were to show you this on my laptop here, I have just a very simple example of this. I'll switch to it. This is a camera pointed at me in real time. And kind of what you see is it's picking up where my face is as I move around the screen. And the idea is that it will find my face, but now I'm going to apply facial recognition, and it's also identifying me. It's also, actually right now, it's complimenting me on my age. I will admit that I am 47, so it's getting that right. I am 47, and sometimes I can make me think that I am younger by squinting, although there I'm 37. Okay, so, but anyway, you get the idea. And the part of the facial tools is to be able to identify potential age range, gender, whether I have a beard, whether I wear glasses, what color my hair might be, if I'm male or female. And also you can see in this example, it's also doing emotion assessment of me. Right now it's saying I'm neutral, and I can, it thinks I'm happy now. So there we go. And you can apply these kinds of tools, as I said, for your application if that's something that's important to you. Go back to the slide here. Enough of my face. So that's facial recognition. I think that makes a lot of sense. Computer vision technology is the ability to recognize images. So we have some great technology that does object detection and finds things in a picture frame. You know, it's a fruit. It's somebody wearing a bow tie. It's an airplane. It's something like this, right? Analyze an image. And we've also appended to that the ability to find text in an image. I just actually tried this just before I walked in here. I'll show you this right here back on my laptop. The OCR capability is very, very cool. If I run an OCR image, you've probably seen this in places, but all right, enough with me. Let's get an image of something. I took a picture of the sign as you walked into the hall here, right? So I'm going to have it analyze the words on the screen, because sometimes we take pictures and they have words in them. And everything you see in yellow has now been digitized. It's been recognized as text. And it doesn't matter the different fonts, and some of it's small and some of it's large. But what you can see is that from a picture, I can pull the words out, and then I can use those words as part of my searchable data. So OCR, or optical character recognition, this is a very key component of our computer vision services as well. To the slide. Oh, I should mention that obviously the ability to recognize famous faces, that's sometimes very important to folks. So we have a celebrity recognition option that you can use, as well as the ability to sort of teach it faces that we don't know. Content moderators are a great feature. This is the ability to look at images or text or videos and find things that we might consider objectionable. Now, before you raise your hand and say, all right, Martin, what do you mean by objectionable? Well, of course, that's a subjective term. So everybody can decide what is objectionable. Sometimes that might be profanity. Sometimes that might be nudity. Sometimes that might be religious symbols. Sometimes that might be political symbols. Sometimes that might be, you decide. So the ability for you to set a class of rules, classifiers, and then identify that, and then scan your data for finding things that match that, that's very valuable to our customers who are looking to do this inside their data. Now, what happens if the data models that we've built for you don't work for all your data? That's okay because we have a great solution called Custom Vision, which is the ability to upload your own images or your own faces or your own objects and teach them what they are. If you're a manufacturer, you probably have parts or machinery or equipment that is specific to you. If you're in healthcare, you clearly have images and terminology and things that are specific to you. So the ability to quickly train and evaluate your custom tools is a key part of what we have. Now, I'm not going to take away from any of Panos' thunder here, so I'm going to skip quickly, but just to say that we're going to cover the big area of speech that we have covered, and it covers these areas. So I'll allow Panos to go for that in just a moment. In the area of text analytics, the ability for you to have a computer system read a series of text and kind of understand what's going on in the text, very powerful. I have customers that often are looking for us to help them do social understanding of what tweets or Facebook posts are going on. Are they positive or negative? What about complaint boards? If they get emails, how do they route them? By reading the emails and figuring out the key terminology. Is it a positive or negative email? What language is it in so I know where to send it to? So the ability to be able to have a system analyze text and then do something with that text based on what rules is a very powerful part of our text analytics. And it goes hand in hand with our other service around this, which is called Language Understanding and Intelligence Service, LUIS. LUIS is really about understanding what the intent of what your customers want to do is. Now, this is powerful because we have many of our customers who use this technology, of course, to build bots. So I can talk to my bot and it understands that I'm giving it a command. Order me this product from a catalog. Make a reservation for me at this restaurant. The idea that the system is understanding that I'm making an action, a command, is very important part of what LUIS offers you. So you can use those as well. And of course, the ability to translate what is being said into different languages is very, very important as we are in a global world. When you are building bots, we have a tool called the Q&A Maker. This is the ability for you to take documents that you already have, FAQs, product manuals, how-to manuals, whatever, and convert them instantaneously into a bot, alleviating you of having to do any of the development work. This is probably one of the most popular services that we have today because it allows you to go from documents that you probably already have available for your internal staff to understand, or perhaps your external customers, and turn it into a bot that's available immediately without a lot of time. And then, of course, you can edit it and clean it up and add additional data to that. From our Bing team, we have different types of search that you can apply, whether it is carving out parts of the public internet so that you can have a customized search, as what we call custom search, or perhaps you want to consider using our visual search, which is given an image, find me an image that matches this image. It's very powerful, right? Today, on today's web tools, we can search for terms, but imagine being able to search for an image. I'm looking for an image that looks like this, a face that looks like this, a dog that looks like this. Find it in my video, find it in my catalog of photos. So this is a very powerful service, and I encourage you to take a look at that as well. So I've been showing you a bunch of these. Where can you see some of these demos that I've been showing? One place that you can see it, of course, is on our website. And if you go to azure.com/cognitive, all of the things that I've kind of just been showing you, you can play with. You can very easily go into any of these key areas that I've just been talking about and try, for example, how to do image detection. By giving it an image, you can upload your own, and it'll give you all the tags that it sees. In this picture, it sees a train. In this picture, it sees people sitting outdoors. In this picture, this guy's skateboarding. So you can feel free to try this if you want. That's a really great thing to try. Another place that you can try is Microsoft Technology Centers have access to what we call the intelligent kiosk. And I think if it's not already publicly available, it should be available soon. And the intelligent kiosk is a Windows app that you can run that allows you to do the demos that I've just been showing you. The face detection one, you can see in here we've got samples of how to do bots and face API, the emotion API is in here. You can do all kinds of fun things. So the intelligent kiosk is another great place to go to for exploring some of these demos if you'd like. And we try to keep that kiosk updated all the time. We just added some new stuff just recently. All of this stuff also is available down in the expo, so you can go by the AI Cognitive Services area and take a look at that if you want to try that as well. And I just learned that the team that built the intelligent kiosk just made an iOS and Android version available that's going to be public soon. So I actually do have it on my laptop, but I did on my phone, but I didn't plug in my phone. I forgot to do that. So I could run similar to the demo I just showed you with the face on my phone to just demonstrate how this technology can be used inside a device. It runs supporting Onyx on iOS, on Android, and other embedded operating systems so that you could run cognitive there as well. So now I'm going to turn this over to my colleague Panos, who's going to give us a nice deep dive and overview of the new GA announcement around unified speech and some customer scenarios. Panos?
Thank you, Martin. So my name is Panos. I work as a program manager in the speech group. And what I want to do in this short session is give you a taste of the speech, cognitive services speech, and what that includes. So the exciting news is that on Monday, we made the service available in general availability, so we're GA since Monday. And what you get now with speech services is a bunch of services and as well as a couple of SDKs. I will go through them so you get an idea of what we're talking about. So we offer speech to text. This is the ability to do speech recognition, to convert audio to text. And you can do this with either using baseline models. So these are models that we develop internally in the company, and we make them available to you. They are also the models that we do use in our own products. So if you want to get set up and running very, very quickly, you download the SDK, you access the service, and you can get transcriptions almost immediately. You do have the option to customize the speech recognition model as well. So for example, if you work on a scenario where the acoustics may be challenging, a lot of background noise, for example, or the language may be very specific, if you like biology, chemistry, medical science, you want to transcribe those type of fields, then you can create language models and acoustic models to deal with that type of language. There is a large number of locales. We have increased the locales. We had about 10 at public preview. We are now up to 30. And you can adapt, customize most of them. Text-to-speech. So this is if you want your application to be able to output audio, speech. You can either use any of the voice fonts that we offer. We offer about 80 now in 49 languages. But in addition, and this is the exciting thing, you can actually customize your own voice font. If you have recordings, data of somebody's voice, or if you want to, let's say, give your bot a particular tone of voice that may reflect your company's ethics or your company's personality, for example, you can now do this. And the experience is actually quite easy. As long as you have the data, customization is easy. We do it through a portal experience via which you can train models, you can test the models, and you can go and deploy them as services. There is also speech translation in there. So this is also, it comes up a lot. There are scenarios, even bot scenarios, where you might want to have speech input in a number of languages or even speech output in several languages. You can customize your speech translator as well. You can customize both the speech recognizer as well as the output. All that stuff is accessible via an SDK. So we're doing quite a lot of work on the SDK because we want to make sure it provides a unified programming experience for accessing all speech type services and speech type features. So the SDK now supports, is actually out since Monday. There is support for multiple platforms, including Windows, Linux, iOS. and a number of languages, Java, JavaScript, C++, C#. There is also, in the same box, there is also something else we call device SDK. This is really an optimized software stack that would allow a device to connect to our speech service in the cloud. So for customers that are thinking of building devices, this is something I would urge you to look at. Now, in terms of scenarios, okay. So in terms of scenarios, let's start with transcription. So you can do dictation actually very, very easily with the SDK. You can do dictation against a baseline model, and there are features such as switching on manual or automatic punctuation. You can customize the models if you want. For example, if you want to do medical dictation, you would need a custom model, and you can actually do that. You can use the same technology to develop captioning, provide live captioning in some scenarios, or do offline captioning. I do have a couple of partners, actually, that do live captioning. They develop POCs now for doing live captioning of sports events. So the way they do it is before the event, they would go and customize a language model, if it is a football match or if it's a tennis match with footballers' names and the lingo around that event. And they use a service to provide live transcriptions for it. It's super fast, and it's something you can use and do in real time. Call centers is another big scenario. There is two sort of sub-scenarios in there. There are people that want to do this in real time in order to identify, to do telemetry on the calls, to do analytics on the calls, such as sentiment. And the SDK allows you to do that. We also have another API, which we call batch transcription API. This is for customers that have a lot of data, audio, large volumes of audio stored in Azure, for example. You can use the batch transcription API to go through all that audio and get it transcribed. And there's a bunch of features that we support. We split channels. We transcribe audio, even audio files that might be very lengthy, and so on and so forth. For conversational bots, I think this is a very nice scenario because it really helps demonstrate the power of cognitive services when you actually put them together. I have a video which I'm going to show you with a partner that we developed one. But this is a scenario that really benefits from the technology that we offer because you can, as I said before, you can develop a bot with its own custom voice in a number of languages, and you can combine the speech recognition and the text-to-speech part with language understanding of the Q&A maker that was mentioned earlier to have a really powerful solution. The last scenario I want to mention is the automotive, the car assistant, which is something that is very close to us. It is benefiting from work we're doing, research work we're doing, and development in areas like far field, language, speech naturalness, and being able to deal with noisy background environments. I'm going to show you a video now from Vodafone Italy. So Vodafone Italy has been developing a bot with us to take care of to do customer care. So the customers would phone up, the bot would reply, it would take them through a dialogue to understand the query and resolve the problem. So I'm going to show you a video that Vodafone published a couple of months ago. So have a look.
Vodafone Italy is part of one of the largest telcos in the world, reaching over 500 million customers amongst 25 countries. We work every day to ensure our customers have the best customer experience. This is one of the many reasons behind the introduction of our digital assistant, Toby. Our journey started in Italy almost a year ago on the My Vodafone app. Toby was then powered by a semantic engine, a keyword-based solution. Despite the basic technology behind, Toby immediately showed its potential. The conversational interface has been a revolution, making every interaction ever simple and faster. And our customers loved it. The following natural step was for us to turn Toby into a smarter version of itself, leveraging Microsoft Cognitive Services. Azure Bot Service is speeding up the development time and giving us the flexibility to scale Toby on different channels, whilst maintaining a unified cognitive foundation based on Lewis and Speech API. With Stream Analytics and Azure Data Lake, we are now ingesting millions of events and getting valuable insights on how to optimize the cognitive layer in its experience. Toby can support our customers on a wide range of use cases 24/7, offering a rich experience which includes text, images, and videos. For example, our customers can run a diagnostic test on their broadband, connecting in real time to their router through Toby.
Yeah, I don't have to play it all. I think you get the idea. So this is a technology that has been built. We were doing tests a couple of months ago with a small number of customers being routed onto Toby. We're doing scale-up tests now, but the idea is that this Toby will be in production actually with Vodafone very, very soon. I want to discuss another case study now we're doing with KPMG. So KPMG, we have built this pipeline on Azure through which they process daily calls between traders of various banks. And the idea of the scenario is that these calls get transcribed and there's analytics going on those calls. The idea is to do general telemetry, analysis of what is going on, but really also doing surveillance to identify rogue trades. So they're using the speech services because given that we can customize models, and we can customize models for this particular domain, finance, that you may know contains a lot of keywords, and a lot of acronyms, and a lot of specific terms, so new vocabulary. We make it easy for them to get the transcriptions they want, highly accurate, and therefore be able to do the surveillance and the analytics they want on those transcriptions. So I was hoping to show you the demo. I can show you the demo. I'm going to be on the booth all day today and tomorrow. I can show you the demo there, but I'm going to play a short video for you just to see what the transcripts look like and discuss a little bit about that. So you're going to hear a telephone conversation, short. You're going to see two transcripts, one on the left, which will be from a baseline model, and one on the right, which is from a custom model that we built for KPMG. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that.
Hi, can you give me a quote in GBP US dollar, please?
139.25.28.
Can I buy 5 million GBP US dollar, please?
Yep, filled at 139.28.
Thank you very much. Done. Bye.
Sorry, I need to put this up so you can see it.
Hi, can I have a...
Okay, let's leave it here. Okay, so the thing I wanted you to notice here is that the baseline model, if you see the transcript on the left, is not actually doing bad, but it's not picking up the keywords there. And the keywords in this particular call are the actual trades, right? The exchange between the British pound and the US dollar. And you want that information on the call in order to be able to extract it and analyze the call further. So the way we did this is that we created, if you like, a language model, large enough language model that contained all those terms, and we created a model, and we deployed the model on behalf of KPMG for analyzing their calls. So there is a lot of stuff like that I would like to talk to you about. So as I said, I'm going to be on the booth all day, today and tomorrow. There is more demos to show. Just to recap, the speech services are GA since Monday. Speech recognition, voice font, speech translation, a single SDK to access all this experience with a single key that you get from Azure. So use it and let us know what you think. Thanks.
Thanks, Panos.
Martin.
Awesome. So I'm going to fly through, you saw two customers already, different types of customers. I'm going to fly through some other examples. Keep in mind the theme for this is how to use this stuff right away on the data that you have. And again, you could be a legal firm, you could be an engineering firm, you could be a dentist office. You have data in different forms. And the goal is use the technology that Microsoft has already developed under cognitive services right away to start applying some of these use case scenarios for AI. So there's a lot. I do a lot of speaking. I do a lot of ideation sessions with our customers and partners around the world. And we collect a lot of these things that people are doing. So there's a lot of different examples of how people say, hey, it would be great if I could replace this human task and augment it with a computerized task in a variety of different areas. So maybe some of these areas will ring true to you. Maybe some of you are in the media entertainment space. If you're not in the media entertainment space, maybe you just have a lot of video. So this would apply to you as well. And the example that I wanted to show you is that you can apply this AI technology to extract insights from video content as well. Now, video is one of the hardest forms of content to extract anything out of because it's a moving picture. It's got faces all over the place. It's got spoken text. It's got all kinds of aspects of it. But we have the technology to apply this to video as well. And I wanted to share a couple examples with you of how this is being done in the M&E space. Particularly, this was an article that just came out I think just 2 weeks ago, about Endemol Shine. This is a production company out of Amsterdam in Europe, and they are using the AI technology that we've just been talking to you about for their show Big Brother. What they do is they take it's people living in a house, if you've seen the reality TV show, and there's a lot of footage, and they don't really know how to edit it together, so they use our AI to help them extract all the footage, the faces, the emotions, the words, the scenes, the objects, and then they help them sort through and edit their content much faster. They can get the shows out to market as fast as possible. Simultaneously, we have a customer that just announced with a service within Virgin TV, also from Europe here, that is building literally personalized television services. That is to say, you enter in the keywords and the types of programming that you like, and it scans through the programming that they've licensed and puts together a linear channel that you just sit back and watch, and it gives you your programs that meet the things that you like. If you like sports, if you like football, if you like agriculture, if you like kangaroos, it will find the content that matches it in the video and build the channel for you. So this is a great service. I wanted to kind of show you an example of how kind of this is being done, and also to suggest that, here's another thing that you could take away, which is a tool. Now, if you want to visit this tool, it's publicly available. It's at videoindexer.ai. So this is, no tricks up my sleeve, this is real. And it's a tool that we built to allow you to upload video clips and apply 18 different forms of AI technology to your video. And I'll show you kind of how it works. After you've uploaded a video through this little GUI here, I can then, you see a gallery of videos that I've already put here. This was the Ignite keynote that Satya gave just from Monday. I just kind of want to give you a sample for kind of what it looks like here. What you're going to see is the video clip that is in here. It identifies all the different faces using our Face API, so obviously Satya.
Good morning.
It creates for me the captions automatically using our speech API services.
Welcome
it
to
pulls out the
Orlando.
keywords.
Welcome, to Ignite and
Sorry,
Envision.
Satya, I'm just going to mute you for a second. It pulls out all the keywords that were spoken. So Satya talked about, facility managers and software products and all this kinds of stuff. It pulls out objects that it recognized that were in here. It pulls out any brands or service marks or trademarks that it found inside the video. It even does an emotional assessment of the people that are in the video. You see 15.6% are joyous. Always glad to hear that. It pulls out all of the keyframes. Every time the screen changes, the scene changes, the camera moves, you can see all the screenshots are in here. It also ties very nicely into Microsoft's translation services. So if I do want to go ahead and say, for example, I want to translate this entire video into another language, I can just go ahead and apply it and turn it into German, and now it's available in German, and I can republish this video in German. So what I wanted to show you with the Video Indexer tool is how we can apply the same technologies that I've just been showing you into a video gallery. And this video gallery might be something that you use internally or externally. And of course, the power of all this stuff is once you have done all of the extractions of your video, now you have video search. And video search is probably the most important thing, which is the ability to find words that were in my video. I can find every single reference to the word coffee, or the object coffee, or the sign on the wall, as you see in this picture, the sign coffee that's written on the wall. So if you have video content as part of your data, maybe this is a tool that you might want to take a look at, because it also uses the Cognitive Services Suite as well. Now, I suspect that many of you are either involved in business operations or know of people who are involved in business operations performing one or more of these tasks. And the idea that potentially you could augment these tasks with these AI technologies is a key part of why we build the types of tools that we do. So you saw from what I just showed you in the video, when I was translating to German, the ability to translate services, and you heard from Panos this talk about how they can use transcription services to go from speech to text. But imagine all of these other types of tasks that today humans are primarily doing, applied and being able to augment them with AI, whether this is to identify keywords or to find what's in documents or to find profanity and nudity as part of our content moderator service, or maybe you want to do handwriting analysis. Now, some of you may have seen the demo that was shown publicly not too long ago at one of the keynotes address, where Microsoft took the JFK assassination files that were recently released by the US government, and we used this as a demonstration of how these cognitive services could be applied to other types of data. So if I use this example to search through the Library of Congress data for the term Oswald, what you'll see is it's going to find me all the references to the word Oswald, even when those references are in old typewriter text, or in handwritten text, or in mugshots, which are lovely, or even scribbles, right? So again, the idea that I can do these kinds of analyses to augment processes and then do things with them is exactly why these services kind of are out there, why we're putting them out there. So I suspect that you might want to consider some of these processes. What are the top use cases today? You heard a couple of them already from Panos in terms of the last one on the list, which is customer service enhancements, building intelligent bot services. But we've got 3 others that are probably in the top list right now, and I thought I would share them with you. One is the one I just showed you, which is what we refer to as cognitive search and classification. The ability to take any data, any document or data repository, no matter what types of data are in there, and make it searchable and make it and tag it for entities. For example, my session expired here. I'm going to go here. This is a law firm that deals with filings to the Securities and Exchange Commission. And so they have a lot of data, and they often are asked to find things within their data. If they want to find something around cybersecurity, it's very hard to find that if that word cybersecurity is buried inside other documents which themselves are not searched by a web crawler. So we use cognitive search capabilities to go through those PDF files, to go through those images, to go through those OCR pictures that are on the wall, and find all those results. And although my networking connection seems to be quite slow here, what it's doing is going through and pouring through those instances of the word cybersecurity and the links to cybersecurity. There we go, we finally got it. And then allow me to begin to tag my data and create relationships between my data, what is related to other things, and then help me make much more sense of what data that I have. So this capability is a very powerful thing. This is also available for you to take a look at downstairs in the expo in our cognitive search booth. Other areas here that are very common, well, the second one on the list about customer privacy and sensitive data, there is many times when people realize that they are carrying in their archives or in their data files data which really should not be shared. And given the new European privacy standards, as well as the other desires for all of us to be very careful around sensitive customer data, the idea here that I might have customer data which is private and I don't want people to see it, or I want to black it out, or I want to delete it, is very powerful. So let me show you an example of how Content Moderator, our Content Moderator tool, works to withdraw PII data. So I've got a little phrase here, a little letter that I wrote, a fake letter that I wrote, asking for a loan. Maybe this was part of a bot. Maybe I sent this as a text message in a bot, which is like the worst way to send your social security number, of course, right? But here I sent it out, and if you read it, it's got it says my name, and it's got my social security number, and it's got my phone number, but I had to do it because I had to send it. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. There we go. All right, and I'll try to, I can zoom in a little bit because that's kind of small. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to take the sample text here, which is this little letter about applying for a home equity loan, and submit it in to the content moderator, assuming my connection is here, and it's submitted it, and now I can just review it and see what it finds. And what it's pulled out for me is it says, oh, you've got a bunch of PII stuff in here that you might want to do something with. It's identified an address, it's identified phone numbers, it's identified social security numbers, and if I went ahead and continued to train it, maybe I could tell, well, birthdays are also private. I might want it to screen for birthdays. Names might be private, and I want to create, so you can create custom entities as well. So what you get with this is a text-based content moderator. Now, I didn't say any curse words in here. I didn't want to offend anybody in the room, right? But I could use this for profanity as well. And if I use the very same tool for images, and trust me, we don't want to show that in this demo, of looking for things, you would see how we would find racy and adult content and flag those as well. So this is another tool you can use in your arsenal to build these applications, and also is probably one of the most popular tools. And the last one there is that third one about translation. Just knowing that we live in a global world where all of your customers may be speakers of other languages or readers of other languages, and the ability to translate to and from every different language is a very important, powerful thing. Whether you're doing it in real-time speech, like you're seeing my words up on the screen here, but if many of you speak another language, we already have a service that you could just go to a link and it would get it back to you in real time in another language. These are very powerful tools, and so probably that makes our top list. If you were in the world of agriculture, if you were in other vertical markets, I want to give you the sense that there are lots of customers who are doing amazing things today. I didn't bring all these demos with me, but we have people in the world of agriculture who are using farm sensors with IoT devices, running sensors to bring all that data up and perform pattern analysis, do prediction. We have companies in the area of insurance doing risk mitigation and trying to understand and use AI for these kinds of things. If you're in the world of retail, there's amazing work going on today in terms of both people and object tracking within stores scenarios, customer acquisition scenarios. How do I support my customers? How do I find my MVP customers better? How does a checkout counter keep the lines short? Possibly by using Face API to count the number of faces of people as they stack up in line and bringing out another checkout teller or opening another line when those lines are long. Very common use case. Restocking shelves, for example, for finding things that are low in the shelves. Or just finding what are the aisles of my store that people go to most often during the course of the day. What are the most popularly visited ones? What aisles never get any traffic? And who are the types of people who go there? And the stories in manufacturing, in healthcare, in workplace safety. Also, lots of great applications that we're seeing. Take a look at real-time traffic alerts, where possibly I want to be able to find that there's a pedestrian in the road, and he's moving along, and I need to track him because that's a dangerous thing, and I need to put out an alert, or I need to call a tow truck, or I need to call a policeman to help these people out as they're dangerously crossing the freeway here, or they got stuck there because of an accident or something like this, right? In industrial safety, we have customers who are working with us to identify potential hazards, like the gentleman who isn't wearing his hard hat on his head. And that's a flagged thing that needs to be notified, right? Again, he could just get a text that says, hey, buddy, put your hat on before you go into this construction zone. Or potentially, there's somebody in an area that shouldn't be there, or they're not trained, they don't have the right credentials. And certainly, you can imagine how this might work in a hospital setting, where I'm watching patients that might potentially, before they have injuries, the railings on the bed are up or they're down, people are moving when they're supposed to be staying in bed. A lot of time is being spent, we're told, from hospitals and healthcare facilities for nurses to do these types of tasks that could potentially be augmented through some of this AI and face and object detection technology. So, we're very excited about this. I want to encourage any of you out there to consider the fact that maybe you are overwhelmed with the choices of technology that we're providing to you, and you'd like to talk to any of us at Microsoft about an envisioning workshop, which we do quite a lot of around this technology. And we are happy to set those up with you to look at what are the challenges that you have, or what are the tasks that you're performing, and can we apply some of these cognitive technologies? Can we give you a proof of concept and be one of the customers that Panos was talking to, where they work very closely, our teams work with you to say, hey, maybe this would solve one of your problems or one of your challenges. And so we are always happy to do that, both ourselves and our partners from around the world to do this, because we know that this technology is new, and we know that there's a lot of it, but we want to make it accessible. So I'll leave you with this question, what will your cognitive services story be? And know that there are lots of different ways that you could approach this technology. So I encourage you to try all this stuff, get excited, get creative, and let us help you. And so with that, between Panos and I, we'll be happy to take additional questions. But we want to thank you very much for coming to our session today. Thank you. Are there any questions we can answer? Yes, sir.
So the transcription is available in 30 locales, and most of them are adaptable. I have a list on the documentation on the website. If there's any language in particular, just ask. For text-to-speech, for the voice phones, we have about 80, actually 80 in 49 languages, and as I said, you can customize your own.
Yes, sir. Image analysis question. Right. It's a little combination of using some of our pre-trained models to identify things, as well as, in most cases, adding a few custom vision tags that says, helmet, placement on head. So we know that somebody's head is up here. That we've already got for you. But you might have particular equipment, like that hard hat, that needs to be in a particular place. So the hard hat is very specific. So therefore, you would train a model that knows what a hat or a hard hat helmet looks like. And then we can help you with the placement. So sometimes it's a little combination of both. So I think we're out of time for questions, but we'll hang around. And also, Panos and I will be downstairs at the AI area of the expo. So feel free to stop by. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of Ignite.